Welcome back to Jack and Mack's Thack Attack. I'm Jack and this is Mack, and we'll be discussing OMF number 14. This is monthly number 14, and it starts off with chapter 11. Now, chapter 11's title heading gives us a great precursor to what's going to happen in the dark. Now, I'm just going to read you the first sentence, and then we're going to dive deeper into it. Okay. So it says, there was no sleep for Bradley Headstone on the night when Eugene Rayburn turned so easily in his bed. There was no sleep for a little Miss Peacher. Alright, so I took this kind of as a love triangle thing. So there's no sleep for Bradley Headstone on the night when Eugene Rayburn turned so easily in his bed. So he is frustrated because he can't get back at Eugene Rayburn. It's a love of hate kind of thing. He hates him. Very strong emotions. Then there was no sleep for little Miss Peacher, because Miss Peacher knows that Bradley Headstone, obviously she's in love with him and he doesn't notice her, so she's also having problems. So it's kind of like this weird love triangle between hate and love and just not being noticed. So I thought that was very funny. Going on in this chapter, Bradley Headstone goes to Eugene Rayburn's apartment to try to talk to him. He's very frustrated, and then guess who meets him? Jack?
Mack.
Oh, you're Mack, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess who meets him? Mack.
Oh, who meets him?
It's Rider Hood. But the funny thing is that
Bad.
yeah. Well, Bradley Headstone knows that it's Rider Hood, and he calls him out on it.
Right, but Rider Hood doesn't know.
Right. So he says, I believe I could tell you your name if I tried, and he goes, go for it, try. He's like, your name is Rider Hood. And Rider Hood is like, okay, he plays it off, and then they keep talking. They both realize that they really don't like Eugene Rayburn, and so they kind of set out to get him. Something else I wanted to point out.
Less than honorable intentions, yeah.
Yeah, but on page 542 of the Penguin edition, whenever Charles Dickens puts parentheses around something, it's obviously, pretty important. And I'm very good. Is this collateral?
No, that's just a whole page down.
You're so kind, Mac. Thank you. The thing in parentheses is, the rogue had got the clue in both hands now. So he understands what's happening, and now he can work it to his advantage. So now he has, Bradley's secret, and he can work that to his advantage, because he's kind of an evil character in the book, obviously. So that's, what chapter is this, 11? Yeah, that's all that happens in chapter 11. Chapter 12 is talking about the Lamleys, and one of my favorite sentences. Why don't you read that?
The happy pair of swindlers. Do you want me to read?
Yeah, keep going.
With the comfortable tie between them that each had swindled the other, sat moodily observant of the tablecloth.
So you have pair of swindlers, so they're not honest, obviously, and they're comfortable with that. They're comfortable with tie between them, so they're happily married and happily knowing that each other is completely judging and lying to other people. Sat moodily observant of the tablecloth. Moodily observant. So they're sitting at their own table, just like we are now, and they are complaining about their own tablecloth. Of course, the Lamleys are very wealthy, and they're moodily observant, and they don't want to say that in front of each other, but obviously they will, because they're the Lamleys and they're very brash. Yet they are very wealthy. So, Meeting Mischief is the title of this chapter. They talk about Boffin and how he can't run with the upper class. It's kind of out of his league. Sophronia's there. Obviously it's their daughter. Mr. Fletcher comes and starts to chill with them. He's calling on Sophronia, and then he disses on Mr. Raya, which makes me pretty mad. on page 550. He says, "No, so Mr. Flusby, gender is ever what a man is bound to listen to, and I wish it to rested with myself. But this Raya is a nasty one, Mrs. Lamley. He really is." Now, what has Raya ever done? Let's list the things that he's done. He's a servant. Faithful servant, right? He also helps Lizzie Hexam out when she's in need and keeps her secrets. Third, he's a minority. He's a Jew. So that makes him an appealing character for the reader because we can somehow relate to him, I guess, is what Dickens is trying to say. Just again, as Fledgeby keeps talking about Raya, and at the end of the chapter when he talks to another Jew, it's just another diss on the Jews. But through dissing on the Jews, he's actually making a social criticism on the upper class, because you should never make fun of people who are helping you out, and therefore it compliments the Jews. So it's kind of backwards, but. That's all in chapter 11 and 12, and when we come back, chapter 13 with Mack here.
Alright, we've got chapter 13 right ahead of us. So, Fascination Fletchby is just a huge dirtbag, to put it concisely.
Yeah.
He points out Raya, his servant, who's working for him, and talks to Jenny Wren and Twemlow, both of who are very nice people. And he just makes up this huge lie about how Raya is this evil scumbag that made him pay off this huge loan and stuff. And he is just stupid. And so then...
Not Raya, Fledgeby is stupid.
Yeah. So then Fletchby... Raya comes over and talks to him, and Fletchby's like, "Yeah, why are you doing this to the Lamleys?" Because Raya is supposedly making the Lamleys pay a loan, right? It's really just him. And so Raya's kind of confused. He's like, "Sir, I'm doing what you asked me to do." And so he's like, "Don't talk to me like that." And he's like, "Oh,
yeah,
right, sir. I'm sorry."
Quickly, yeah.
So then he kind of plays a part as the evil scumbag.
Yeah.
And then Jenny Wren thinks that's real. So then he's like, "Oh, there, my dear Cinderella." And she's like, "Don't you call me your Cinderella, dear." And he's like, "Oh."
And Fledgeby's just laughing, man. He's just having
because he just likes messing with people because he's an evil person.
Yeah.
If he can be called a person.
Yeah. Wow. There you go.
Yeah. From the word and mouth of Mack. So, chapter 14. Mr. Wake prepares a grindstone for Mr. Boffin's nose. Mr. Boffin goes to visit Mr. Venus. They're chatting. Mr. Venus is like, "Oh yeah."
Collector of parts, Mr. Venus.
Yeah, and so he's like, "Hey, look, I've got this will." And he's like, "Oh, that's nice." And he's like, "Everything's supposed to go to the crown." And so Boffin's like, "The crown doesn't do anything except collect taxes." So
I don't think he fully gets it.
Yeah. So then Venus is like, "Hold on, shh, somebody's coming." So he's like, "Hide behind my giant stuffed crocodile."
Now, Venus could be. Do you think he is pulling one over on Rider Hood?
Yeah, I think he's pulling one over on both of them. I think
because he wants all the money. You think?
Because
he's like, why else would he tell Mr. Boffin that he had the will?
Because I think what he's going to do is
pay me off and I won't tell anybody, kind of thing.
Right, but because Rider Hood's in on that, so then I think he's going to get Boffin to get mad at Rider Hood, not Rider Hood, sorry, Wag,
yeah.
Silas Wag,
I'm sorry.
Kick him out of the deal and out of reading to him, so then Silas Wag is out of the picture, and then Venus can be like, "Okay, now give me all your money."
Yeah.
So he hides, and basically Silas Wag spills the entire beans to him. We got a wonderful illustration for you. So Boffin hears everything, and Silas Wake has that wonderful grindstone metaphor of Mr. Boffin's nose. He's like, how you gonna do it? And so Silas Wake is like, I'm gonna insult him publicly. I was like, I don't know if that'll like work that well, but you know, it's worth a shot.
Self-esteem as is.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the dynamics between Wig and Venus and Boffin play out.
I feel like one of them's gonna die, just like we predicted last time.
Yeah, I think you're right. So that's monthly number 14.
Thank you. Again, I'm Jack.
And I'm Mac.
And this is Jack and Max.
Thack
Attack. See you next time, guys.
Of Mac. So,
On the Jews, he's actually making fun of the happily married and Riderhood.
Silas
I'm
Wake,
sorry.
kick him out.
That was very funny.
He's like, how you gonna do it, Cinderella? And she's like, don't you call me your Cinderella, dude.